Hello, my dear friends. Today we are going to discuss about a very interesting topic and something that we often hear nowadays, the topic of self-worth. What is self-worth? The self-worth is a deep sense of experience, a deep sense of feeling worthy within us, within ourselves. Many of us struggle to be feeling that, to be believing in that, or to be finding it difficult to sense that within ourselves. But the important aspect is that, when God created the babies, all of us, when the God birthed us, He distributed this word equally. It's a soul quality. It is equally present in every one of us. A very famous psychologist, Howard Glassers, defines that self-worth is unconditional. It has nothing to do with what you are, what you have performed, what you have achieved, how much big name that you have, how much rich or poor you are. He says that self-worth is inherent. It is present in us the moment we were born. And it is not something which is less or more in us. It is just there equally. So it cannot be increased or it cannot be decreased even. And so it is not a measure to compare ourselves with anybody. It is not competitive at all. But we somewhere start to believe that it is, you know. So the self-worth, though it is given, though it is present in all of us, and it is just a matter of am I in connection with it or have I lost my connection? And majority of the time, the very fact that a person does not feel worthy is because they have lost that inner connect with that inner word, that inner soul aspect, that inner soul quality that that person is born with. Now, what makes that person lose that connection? And this is where the conditioning and the wounding comes into picture. When a child is born, a child is born with this inherent unconditional worth. But along the course of our lives, because of the situation that the child goes through, the conditioning that the child goes through, the familial conditions, the societal conditions, the environmental conditions, the cultural conditions, and the conditioning, it starts creating the dust over the inner sense of feeling worthy. When the wounding happens, like so many childhood experiences where child undergoes some certain kind of wounding, which I'll be talking about as we proceed, is when the child starts to lose his or her connect with that sense of worth. And this is how it develops into a sense of I'm not worthy enough. I was a part of, I underwent that thing myself, as a child. There were so many instances when I started going back. I started realizing that, I was playing very small in so many occasions when I would go out, like in a party or gathering or social uh, meetings, even casual ones. I saw myself acting small. I saw myself playing small. I would not dress up appropriately. I would not own up to my, a sense of achievement. I would be less than what I was by dressing less or wearing jewelry inappropriately, just because I did not wanted, because I did not feel worthy enough to be dressed up to that mark. It was until that I did this inner child healing work for myself, I started to understand what I was doing had a lot to do with my own loss of connection with that worth within me. I had somewhere down the line started believing that I'm not good enough. Now, what had happened when I was a child? I was a giggly child, I would just laugh it out and I would be expressing so freely. And I remember, on few occasions when I would do that, and my mom would come and scold me that, what are you giggling for? No reasons. And it came so suddenly that I was not prepared for. And I felt, I felt that shrink deep within me. There were also occasions where, elder people were having meetings and they were discussing something really like something which a child would not understand. But me, I was a child and I did not know that I'm not supposed to intervene and interfere and, kind of express my views. And I did that. And I received a very loud scolding from my elderly family members. And this is how slowly, I started shrinking and I started believing that, expressing myself freely is not no more safe. I would be criticized, I would be scolded, I will be, belittled. And so I developed that belief that I'm not good enough. That's why they are doing this to me. As a child, we do not have this discrimination aspect of our brain which is developed. So we do not really think deep. We just take things as a face value, and then you start believing in certain things which actually is not truth. And then that this belief or that limiting belief, it gets carried forward in your life. So what would happen? I would start, I would not I would not be myself. I would be less than what I would be. And then by doing that, when I would reach the party and I would have anyway, which ways, dressed up a little less, then I would see others dressed up properly as per the alignment of the occasion. And I would feel, oh my God, I'm not dressed properly. So that would kind of again make me shrink further. So my own action would make, me believe, oh, I'm not good enough. And my belief would make me act small. And this is how I was trapped in that in that belief. And this is what happens. Eventually, your own limiting belief, it makes you do or take actions which solidifies it further, which reinforces things further, within you. And that is what was happening until I took that walk of inner child healing. When I took up that walk, I started understanding that what I was doing was actually called playing small. I was playing small in all these places. I would not own up to my degrees. I would not own up to my, what I was, just because I was not feeling that I was worthy enough to do that. So, what are the signs? So the important aspect about dealing with this issue is that first we need to start identifying that, do I really have this issue? Because sometimes this belief system is so strong that we just believe that this is the truth, and we don't, and then we believe that it is the truth. We don't want to even take any action to come out of it, and we continue to suffer, and we continue to suppress ourselves further and further. So I'm going to tell you some signs which can help us to identify that, okay, I have this low self-worth issues. So you are someone who would avoid attention in a gathering, feeling awkward when somebody praises you, or are you dressing below your standard and you are not speaking up, owning up to your authentic inner feelings which you are supposed to be sharing. And when you are saying that, oh, I'm fine, nothing is wrong with women, when that is not the case, and you feel intimidated in gathering, you start feeling small and awkward and unsafe. Your body starts reacting in a way which starts making you feel uncomfortable within your skin, and you have a sense of, I don't belong all the time. Or you are overthinking when somebody is telling something about you or otherwise. Or you are silently, you are just in a party and you are just comparing yourself. Oh, I don't, you are comparing yourself with what others are wearing, or what are their social status or wealth status. These are the patterns where, or you are constantly seeking approval of the opposite person. So if these are the signs that you have, then my dear friend, these are the indication that you should be considering to take up some appropriate step to come out of this trap, right? So what are the steps that are required? How do we really repair this? So as I told you, that self-worth is not something that we have to earn from outside. It is not something that we have to develop. We are worthy. It's just the question of we are not connected with that. So the steps are to first to understand that it is our inherent quality. It's an inherent quality of our soul. Second, to become aware and open to take up that journey by identifying the signs that we silently experience. It's sometimes it may not be very big, but it's just within you that you are experiencing. And so how you may really kind of become aware. You can just ask this question, like when I'm in a gathering or if I'm out in some meetings, how do I feel? How does my body feel? Does it shrink? Does I start feeling uncomfortable? Do I start to be, wanting to kind of go into my shell? I don't share it, I don't express it, but does that happen naturally, automatically within me, in my body? Or just because I don't want to feel this, I boast that, I am super confident and I don't really have any problem, but deep within, I know that I'm not. So, in this both polarities, we can be playing. The subconscious of us can be playing, and these are the ways we can stay open to and mindful to start catching ourselves. Oh, see, this is how I played that I'm not confident or I'm not good enough. Yeah. And yes, my dear friends, this self-confidence and self-worth, they are linked, they're connected. Like this self-worth, the loss of connection with that world leads to a person feeling less confident, as an adult or the later part of their lives. Then we take up the work, when we just take up the work of reparenting that child, like, the child, this wounding happened, right? This losing connection with that word happened because of the childhood experiences, the wounding that happened during the childhood when, we were being criticized or shamed or punished or scolded, for things that we did and that made us feel small and unsafe to express ourselves, to be ourselves. So we need to go back to that thing, we need to reparent that child. We need to provide that child within us who is still alive, that new parent, that nurturing one who allows that child to be feeling okay to express herself or himself freely, appropriately. And in doing that work, if you feel that okay, you will need someone to hold that space for you, is when you can connect with an inner child healer or therapist who would help you to, who would guide you to through that journey. Now, another thing which will help is that sometimes because of this wounding, we have kind of internalized certain voices that does not allow us to really do this work or connect with ourselves. We say that no, this is how you are, and you do not have to even have someone outside who is making you believe that you are, you don't belong. But it's a voice within you which is kind of that inner critic that keeps telling you that you are not good enough, you are not good enough. So in this work, another next step is to also deal with this inner critical voices. So being aware about those voices and really kind of helping yourself say during that time consciously that okay, I know I'm in control, becoming the boss, and not let that voice become the boss for you. So this is the next step that also helps to deal with this playing small or playing little feeling small issue, which is a part of self-worth reconnection or not missed connection. Now, if you find this thing to be, doing difficult, you can again connect with someone. In fact, I invite you to join my 3 days course. In this 3 days course, it kind of really will help you to reset you on the healing journey. It will help you to know how do I deal with my inner critic, this voices that keeps demeaning me. How do I really deal with understanding, identifying these areas within me, which have put me in the trap. So this is just a 3 days course, and I've kept it in a very, very nominal price to help you start with this journey. And the final thing that will help is, to really, when you see that, okay, this is something that needs someone to hold the space for me, you can actually connect with connect with me or connect with anyone who is doing this inner child healing work. And they will help you to to be held in a safe space where you can go and repair and heal those wounds and reparent your inner child, so that you can then feel confident, feel comfortable, feel connected with that inner worth. And once that happens, the last and the final step is to then start acting from that inner self-worth and not from that fear. Now, this happens organically the moment you connect back with that innate quality of yours, that innate sense of worth within you. You naturally develop confidence to then, exercise that muscle of confidence to act with sense of, authority, that this is what I am, this is where I belong, this is what I should be saying, this is how I should be expressing. You will not feel uh, need to act or play small. And this will happen organically, and then you will have to develop it by showing up for yourself. So this is how we deal with our own inner disconnected sense, that we have lost because of the wounding that happened during our childhood. And I invite you to join this journey for yourself, to break this trap for yourself, because you don't have to play small, you don't have to not have confidence, you don't have to not shine your brilliance. If you are a diamond, you should be able to feel that you are a diamond. It's not something outside that is responsible, it's your own sense, it's your own belief that makes you believe that you are not a diamond. Only when you break that trap for yourself is when you start to feel confident to be a diamond that you are, to shine your light and bright. So I invite you to take up that journey for yourself, my dear friend, to reconnect with that worth within you and to stop playing small. And that helps you to stop playing small. So till we meet next, stay healthy, stay empowered, and take up steps by staying open so that you can rewrite your story, you can transform your world. And remember, when you will do that, your children will see you doing that, and you are the role model for your child. So when you do that, you model something very positive, very strengthening, very rooted and authentic for your child. Stay blessed. Bye.